Attack Jaburo.
Well, that's simple. Welcome back, everyone, to Zeonic Front.
Thanks to Captain Shar's Mad Angler Squadron, we have mapped the exact location of Jaburo. Ever since our arrival on Earth, its whereabouts had remained a mystery.
Yeah, that's why we threw a colony at South America at the beginning of the war. Or tried. We kind of missed. Oops.
Now we are prepared to assemble all available battle strength and crush Jaburo.
I really hope you have a lot of battle strength.
We will descend with other units from the Gao and sneak into Jaburo from one of the entrances discovered by our scout unit. Then, as we move deeper into the base, we'll secure positions one at a time.
This reminds me of that mission in the cave at the beginning of the game.
You're all aware that the progress of this war so far hasn't left much room for optimism.
That might actually be the biggest understatement you have ever said in this game.
But if we destroy Jaburo, the enemy's general headquarters, it just might be the turning point to raise the morale of our comrades on other fronts and to crush the spirit of our enemy.
Honestly, this was one of the two really big turning points in the war. It's either here or Bawaku that things could have changed entirely.
I expect you to do your best.
That's really kind of all...
One more thing. Lieutenant Sophie and Lieutenant Sandra will join us for this operation. Over.
Best is all we can do. Also, welcome, ladies. You're the last two members of our team. And you really don't have characterization. You know, I get a little worried when the primary orders that I'm given for a mission are basically crush, kill, destroy swag. Oh my god, advice! Let's go to information first. Submarine-based unit led by Lieutenant Commander Shar carries amphibious mobile suits and can attack from the sea. Jaburo, the Federation's largest military base. Its exact location was a mystery until Miharu Ratoke, a spy for Zeon, discovered it. Or at least told them to follow the white base. This infiltration operation was devised by Lieutenant Commander Shar. I believe that based on Zeta Gundam, I think they were hinting in that series that over 80 mobile suits had showed up in this mission. Sophie Fran, born on Side 3, 24, of course. She fought in space from the outset of the war, but as the battle on Earth intensified, she went sent to us. She is an ace pilot who will shoot down enemies. Because none of the other characters will shoot down enemies, just her. That is the dumbest thing. Born on Side 3, age 28. Hey, same age as me. Huh. Odd. That's interesting. She was sent to Earth about the same time as Lieutenant Fran and was assigned to the Midnight Fenrir. She is a crack shot and a weapons expert. In fact, she is the only member of the team that will receive a beam rifle, but not until the next cycle of the game. Oh well. Let's get some advice. I always love seeing these things.
You've got no choice in the matter, but be aware that you're about to enter one tough battle.
Yeah, that's an understatement. This is one of the two worst stages of the game.
Since we don't have a map of Jaburo's interior, we should keep in constant contact and secure enemy positions one by one as we go along.
Actually, we do have a map of Jaburo's interior. I'm going to be using it to plan.
I hear that more than 50 mobile suits are taking part in this mission.
I heard 80, but sure, we'll go with 50. I mean, it's about as effective, really.
I'm amazed we've been able to gather that much battle strength.
I'm amazed that you're one of the three main characters in the remake of the later mission in this game that's going to show up in Gundam side stories. And Nikki and Charlotte are the other two.
I'm sure the enemy will put up a fight considering this is their general HQ, but we'll give her a try.
Yeah.
I'll cram loads of ammunition down their throats.
I love how his
We'll
laughs
just keep
are
moving
not...
deeper and deeper, and pray that the route we take will lead us to their command headquarters.
Moving deeper and deeper. Ugh.
This is our chance to give them a taste of what they did to us in Odessa.
I suppose so. Makes some sense, I guess. Eh. Not
Good
really.
lord, I never thought I would hear the word pray from you.
If it was sure to win us the war, I'd consider selling my soul.
Well, he's hardcore. You can't say that. You gotta say that for sure. Even more so than Rower the Traitor.
This day has finally come. If only we discovered the base's location a lot sooner.
Yeah, like at the beginning of the war when we were trying to drop a colony
But
on
there's
it.
no sense crying over spilt milk. I'll just do the best I can.
That's a good attitude to have, honestly.
This is a huge mission. Please let me in the attack team. I have to do it.
Well, you make a compelling argument, so I'll consider it.
We can't use DOP or Magella attack support once we're within the base. Well, I guess that's obvious.
I'm actually glad that they say something about that, because I know that a lot of players would not think about that.
If we're to crush the base, we might as well neutralize the enemy facilities as we go.
Isn't that kind of the point of crushing?
We'll destroy the lookout posts before they can report our movement. That way, it'll make it much easier for us to advance.
To the best of my knowledge, that doesn't really have an effect.
I want to avenge my comrades who lost their lives in the Gobi and Odessa.
Manning, I couldn't care less if you have a grudge against me. I'll look after everything on my end. You just make sure to take care of things on your end.
I know that. Don't lecture me, Lieutenant.
Fine.
Yeah, I ship it. So hard.
Our objective is to destroy everything in sight and take control of our designated area.
That sounds very simple, like our...
If I'm picked up for the attack team, I'm not gonna hold back.
That actually sounds like all of our missions.
I'm Lieutenant Sophie Fran. I'm now fairly used to Earth's gravity, so my combat skills are fine now. It's good to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Well, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't scared, but what has to be done, has to be done. After all, I am a soldier.
I'm Sandra. Nice to meet you. Yes, I'm finished with my preparations. I can go anytime.
Excellent. You know, now that I think about it, is she talking about the preparations for her suit? Or is she saying that she's, like, made out her last will and testament or something? Because I'd kind of believe both. Okay, so the basics for this mission is that Blue Team will actually be the Dom, so it's pretty much already set up. Our secondary team will be Lieutenant Rower, although he will not actually be in the... I can't remember if he's in the red spot or the green spot, whichever one is over on the left side. His team will have to be self-sufficient for a little while, so they're going to be on the left side and taking out enemies as they go. The goal there is basically they just can't die because they're going to get a lot of the points for the mission. I took smoke grenades just in case I needed to use him for the final part of the stage, which I'll explain later. Since it didn't really matter to me who the third team member was, I kind of fiddle around here with Fran, but she's not the best option. She doesn't get spray beams for a while. I think it's one of her 50 kills items, so that's a problem. And Sandra doesn't even have her Dom yet, so... I was really thinking I was going to take a Dom here, just in case, you know, backup swaggered, because you really want a fast unit for the end of the stage. You'll see why. But in the end, I thought about Nikki, but, well, I know I fiddle around on this screen a lot. It is worth noting that Nikki is one of the other two main characters, along with Hepner, of the trailer that we've seen so far for Gundam Side Stories' Zeonic Front mission. And, interestingly, he has a Dom in that trailer, whereas he never has a Dom anytime in the actual game. So, yeah, I'm fine with it. Yep, I decide, why not? Let's just take Hepner along. Because, hey, you know, she said she wanted to come along. Why not, right? Also, radar boost is basically useless. I just took it because. I believe the proper term there is I took it for shits and giggles. Because it's really not relevant. So we have a sniper on the side that's by itself, a good option. Red team, whose goal is technically to circle around the enemy, is Hepner. She's in the Zaku 2 J-type, so she moves relatively quickly. And our central group there, our main team, the blue team, once again, swaggered. Because, you'll find out. If you've played this game, you already know exactly what I'm alluding to, but if you haven't, yeah, this is a stage where it kind of really relies on that one unit, at least the strategy that I use, which is desperate maneuvering and stuff, and yeah, I will say that the default routes for the stage are actually quite good. I do move this position back because where it stopped the units before, there were a number of enemies that were in line of sight. So I want to have them waiting there so that when they're moving into attack, like, I think I have them on attack advance. I can't remember if I do or not. But the main thing is I don't want the enemies shooting at them while they're just kind of milling about in a circle. So the other two routes don't really need too much in the way of changing. I think maybe I moved that point, no? It's been a little while, I can't remember exactly what I did here. The basic strategy is that you use the red team to clear a path for the blue team, and the green team clears a path up the side, basically to get you extra points, as well as to be the backup in case the blue team fails at its main objective. The blue team goes right up the middle through all the rooms, so you have to be kind of careful not to move them too quickly or else the enemies might get behind you. So, I've actually been thinking of figuring out a way to speedrun this game as of recent. And I've never done a speedrun of anything, so I don't really know how well it'll work, but it might be fun. So, if I do choose to do that, it'll probably be both campaigns, so it'll be after the second campaign. So.
Teams, report current situation.
Blue team, all clear.
Red team, A-OK.
Green team, all clear.
All right. All units, move in. All units, move in.
Okay. So I moved the blue team forward first because there's a couple of guns up here that I want to take out, and
Enemy troops have breached the dome.
yeah.
Counterattack! Counterattack!
I want to make sure that they don't go too far forward because they will not notice these enemies quickly enough, and I want to make sure that I check out these installations first, including that one through a corner because such great hit detection. And then I get shot in the back and nearly and lose a lot of health. So, thank goodness those wall-mounted guns are kind of terrible. So now I allow blue team to wait at its point, and I'm moving the red team around to take care of any possible obstacles in the room. And this is the reason why I brought machine guns. So most of the obstacles are tanks. There's a GM. Smoke grenade. Okay. Now the weapon the GM is using, the beam spray gun, isn't particularly effective, but I want to wait until his AI carries him into the area I can lock on, or the smoke wears off. I don't want to fight him in melee combat because beam sabers are the fastest and strongest melee weapons in the game. So even the most basic GMs can cut down a Zaku with a beam saber pretty easily. That clears that room, so we will launch Go Code Alpha and switch over to Green Team. Because, you know, playing all three teams here was really just kind of a fluke that I decided to do it. The thing about Green Team is there are a lot of enemies off in these little alcoves that you can kind of detect before you reach them. And that was a good move on my part. Huh, I guess the tank stopped moving. That's fine. If it's not going to move, then it's not going to go after blue team. Hepner's team is doing work. Thank goodness.
Enemy located.
Rower's team didn't get surprised. Apparently. There's clearly an enemy right behind them, and yet they haven't done anything about it. I fear for the safety of my men. And maybe some of the secondary pilots are ladies. I don't know. Anyway. Once again, through a wall. Only beam rifles are supposed to be able to do that, but there are a few places, especially in the Jaburo stage, where you can shoot through corners. It's really silly.
Careful. Enemy has added reinforcements.
Okay, this is the beginning of the final stage of the game. So, we're going to move him in to take out some basic enemies at the installations. And now we're moving everybody. The other thing that's behind me is an installation. Ah, Hepner's down. Okay, now we have to be careful over on this left side. The right and left sides here.
It's the end of the line.
Mobile suits will be coming in.
This doesn't seem to be it. None of these facilities look like command headquarters. It's more likely a dock for space warships. There's one space warship here. Is this the Trojan Horse? No, it seems somewhat different.
Checking data. Vessel is not in our database. Space warship similar type as the Trojan Horse.
Ah, fool's errand.
Sorry, I skipped one over there.
Unidentified mobile suit approaching. Please be careful.
What? A new model?
Single enemy appears to be a Gundam type.
Get him! Destroy everything in sight! Absolutely everything!
Roger.
So, we meet again.
That voice. You're that pilot.
I couldn't finish you off the other day, but we'll fix that. I'll use this new model to get rid of you! Lieutenant Agar, what are you doing? The mud rock is not complete. Please return! Look what's happening! You want everything to be perfect? If it moves, it'll do.
Yep, that's the reason I took the DOMs for this. There's quite a few mobile suits and tanks up here too, so you have to be really careful in your approach. But the right side is the easier approach of the two, so, and there's bridges near the Blanc Revel here, and, yeah, that's what happens when the spray beam works properly. It turns the enemy's radar... It turns the enemy targeting blue. Unfortunately, I missed with the second one, which is why that happens.
I'm ejecting.
Oopsies.
Don't let up. Attack!
And then, out of nowhere...
That's impossible!
Nailed it.
There's no way Gundam can be defeated!
Confirmed. Destruction of new model of enemy mobile suit.
All units, retreat! The other units are struggling to keep afloat. All units have started to pull back.
And thus, we come to a close for the mission of our invasion of Jaburo. And we salute you, random pilot who managed to take down the mud rock.
Despite assembling all the military strength at our disposal, our attempt to move on Jaburo ended in retreat. We succeeded in damaging the enemy's new model of mobile suit, in addition to their battleship. But as for the core facilities, our forces simply weren't big enough to secure all of Jaburo. I didn't expect the Federation to have this much strength. However, the fact that we were able to do some damage to the enemy's general headquarters should be enough to raise morale among our comrades fighting in other areas and cause unrest among our enemies. But it wasn't without considerable cost. More than half of the mobile suits that participated in this operation were destroyed, along with their pilots. We shall never forget the blood-red sunset over Jaburo that day.
I'll be honest, I'm just still amazed that that random pilot, member of the blue team, could actually take out the Mudrock. And that was just amazing.
The Federation forces had commenced counterattack operations in North America. The enemy's final target was California base.
Yep.
Some time ago, it had been our own target, and now it became the last stronghold for all our remaining North American forces.
That's right. We're heading back to California base in the next mission. This could get really bad. Let's just hope they don't have that unit there for us. See you all next time.